Hello and Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year once again, and I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday, Christmas, and again, of course, Hanukkah. The markets are concluding 2025 on a sour note. Santa Claus has not shown up yet. The S&P 500 is for the year. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. For the Santa Claus rally, shall I say. We were actually only up less than 1% last week for the week of Christmas. Now we walk into the day today, and the markets not only were down, the S&Ps were down. So for the last 2 week period of time, we're down 0.2%. That's not a Santa Claus rally. Meanwhile, the Russell futures, and I was looking for a Russell move to see the smaller cap outshine relative to the S&P. You know, this is a fine line that, yes, the Russell is down 0.7% today. The ES is down 1.2. So you could say the Russell fell less, and it is outperforming relative to the S&P. As a spread trader, one would be buying the Russell, selling the S&P. That would have worked out well. But if you're buying both products separately, then it didn't work out. The big news today, I think, could also be the fact that we have energy prices a little bit higher. And more importantly, it was a huge move in natural gas prices that has sparked a little bit of attention on the inflation front. So one of the things that I want to go over today was briefly the algo program that we run in the live trading room. And some people were asking what are the results. On the Q model, it's been, as you can see, and this has a direct effect of where are we going into 2025 with cap-weighted stocks, namely Meta, Apple, NVIDIA, Netflix, Tesla, again, Alphabet. Those are the 6 big ones. I always add Lilly and GE because both of those, one pharma with the Mounjaro weight loss GLP-1 drug, and then GE, once they split and only does aerospace, has really come into its own. So if we do get, and the system went short again today, its performance overall this year, or at least if I bring this track record in, just I guess on today, it came into the weekend short. It covered the short, and it actually went short again at a higher level. So the green dot signifies another new equity high on the Q model that we run here in the algo room. What my real purpose is to talk about as we head into 2025 is what's going to happen with inflation. Crude oil is trading at 71 a barrel. This is the time of year where energy prices usually are at their weakest and then start to rally. And that, my friends, is interesting. We had today a 15% move out of natural gas, which may have sparked a little bit of fear that inflation is going to be a little bit more present in the first quarter, and that's going to alleviate the Federal Reserve's need to lower interest rates, and that's what's spooking the market. But I want to talk about a couple trades here. Specifically, I want to talk about NVDA. And a lot of people have been talking about NVIDIA, seeing NVIDIA commercials on TV that you got to sell it. And, you know, quite frankly, here's my take on NVIDIA. 2 things hit the news tape, and it's been in the news for quite a long time. And it might explain everything that I've talked about here with energy prices, technology, and it has to do with Elon Musk and his data server center that was being built in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, he has just been, I believe, is what he tweeted out, which got probably didn't get a lot of press, but you ought to look into this. XAI is looking for the Colossus supercomputer site, which took over the Electrolux facility. If you're familiar with Electrolux, it was a appliance manufacturer that in their location, one of the locations they had was in Memphis. Elon Musk took over that and was building out a supercomputer data center for AI. Now, you've got a couple things. Dell's been helping out build this and using the components, as well as Supermicro, and most importantly of all, NVIDIA. Something to the tune that this is going to house so far 200,000 H100 GPU processors from NVIDIA. Now, I got to double check those numbers. I don't know if you know what I just said. 200,000 of these, and each one costs 20 grand. So, I mean, we're talking 200,000. This is not just any major facility for data. This is like going to be the biggest brainchild that's been developed, and it is going live soon. What they needed was an increase in power. And so what Elon Musk just tweeted about was that he got approval from the Tennessee Valley Authority to increase their power to about 150 megawatts. This is insanity. It's going to take 5 generating systems, and this is the fear that people are thinking that's going to happen to in Memphis and the surrounding neighboring cities or counties. It may cause increased pollution with all of those new generating systems. They're going to be built using liquid natural gas or natural gas combines. And now that is interesting because we saw where natural gas futures were up 17%. Now, I'm not quite sure they're all interconnected, but it's a coincidence that today, while the stock market was down, and I shared that earlier, the S&P is down 1.19%, the Qs today down 1.46%, and NVIDIA was up slightly today. In the post market, it's down 3 cents. It's unchanged in all of that hobbledehook type market condition. So what's the point? The point is too many people from a contrarian standpoint are negative NVIDIA, and we generated a weekly high close doji last week. Now, do I give a lot of credibility to a weekly buy signal the week of Christmas? Generally, no. It's the following week, and that will conclude this Friday. But if we can see a secondary higher close than last week's level, that 138, friends, I'm thinking that if this was bad news for NVIDIA, it certainly did not make the market go down. If we can close greater than this monthly pivot, again, I don't think we're going to do it by tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of the month. But overall, I'm favorable to NVIDIA seeing a rise going into the end of January. So I'll be buying dips in NVIDIA. So I guess I could have said that real succinctly, buy dips in NVIDIA. This is Alphabet. They're going to be doing the same thing, building out their data centers. Interesting enough, in southern Illinois, or not southern Illinois, but I guess right on the border between Indiana and Illinois, there's those old steel factories, and the rumor is that they're going to build data centers in those locations and revive where they need several things. Water, which Lake Michigan's sitting right there, to cool off these processors. You need also electrical combine to fuel electricity. So some people are thinking, hey, this would be a perfect location in the Great Lakes area and right outside of Chicago. Big job creation. I think Governor Pritzker was even one who said he would support this. So once again, data center buildouts is a real thing. It didn't get a lot of attention in today's market. I don't think it will until it's after the fact. You should be aware of it. You can go do some more research in this. And what I think is going to happen is that both Google as well as NVIDIA, still the motherlode of all the essence of what's going to build these data centers, is still going to be strongly in demand as we head into Q1 and Q2 of next year. So my focus is, I think it's a good idea to be focused on longs in Google, longs in NVIDIA. Maybe options is a better way of doing this because of the fact that we could easily get a pullback in the market. If you get a 5 to 10% pullback, that's a $20 move in Google. It won't feel good on the stock, right? But on the other side of the coin, we just kind of pulled back to rising MAs, and we could see a launch up into the 220 zone on Google. So the point that this video wants to bring to you is they're building data centers. It's not going away. It's a real thing. Energy is needed. It's not going away. It's a real thing. Lots of energy and lots of cooling. And right now, there's 2 companies, Google and NVIDIA, that I think will be dominate in this space as we get through into the new year. And again, there'll be other trades as well. And I want everyone to realize I'm not as pessimistic on China as the rest of the world is, but we are in a very difficult situation right now with a lot of cross currents, meaning we've got end of year tax loss adjustments, end of year tax deferment selling pressure that could take place Thursday. We could get more of a washout of this market environment with all the bulls. And then again, we have all of the magnificent, what I called 7 or 10 names: NVIDIA, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, which is really a perplexing scenario. Netflix, if it pulls back into the low upper 800 region, it's about a $100 move to the downside. This is a stock that has traditionally been almost 85% an accurate seasonal trade that you go long on a dip between now and right before its earnings, and it yet generally has just blown the top off of earnings, which will come out at towards the end of the month. So again, any pullback in some of these names combined with negative headlines like, oh my God, the world's coming apart, I would say focus on Netflix for earnings, focus on Google on a dip, definitely stick with NVIDIA because they are the ones fueling these data centers and these supercomputers that are being built and used to, again, do the whole data processing. Thanks for listening. God bless everybody. I hope you have a great 2025, and thank you for following us here at Person's Planet. We'll see you on the next YouTube video.